Easter Sunday 2018. I was on the ride-on mower, mowing. Michael was down the paddock whippersnipping, and Maddox asked if he could hop on the mower with me, and I said no, and then I caved in. So he jumped on with me, and I don't really recall what happened, whether I turned too quickly or I hit a bump, but next thing I just remember Maddox screaming, "Mummy, Mummy, my hand." And I turned around and yeah, his hand was everywhere. We knew it was pretty serious. He needed to get to the hospital. Like, there was two things that day that were critical, and that was time to get to the hospital, and that was when Life Flight landed on our neighbour's property just across the road, actually. And then number two was having Dr. Michael Fargles on call that day. I got on the chopper in the chopper with Maddox. We arrived on the rooftop, and it was just chaos. They moved him very quickly, and sorry, it doesn't get any easier. Yeah, they took him into theatre, and that was about 10 o'clock at night, and he didn't come out till 11 a.m. the next day. And we got a call from Dr. Michael at about midnight, I think it was. And when the phone rang, I think I'd prepared for the worst. And as soon as I answered the phone and I heard Michael's voice, I just had this sense of like, everything's going to be okay.
We sort of decided that we wanted to give back to Dr. Michael in any way that we could. Initially, he was very reluctant to sort of want anything in return, but he explained to us about Access, and it was something he was trying to drive, and I guess that's how sort of Shelley went away and decided to start the Maddox's Helping Hand Foundation to directly get funds to Access.
Shelley gave me a call, it would have been 3 years ago, and she gave to us her vision, what was in the back of her mind of what she would like to do to help the team at Access, considering the support that they've provided Maddox since his accident. Of course, when she rang and said, I'm thinking of starting a foundation so that we can give back to them as well, and help other people in need, and how could you say no?
Yeah, like seeing people have life-changing access to care because of, the fundraising that we've done to pay for these machines. It's really amazing. Like, there's people that wouldn't have a chance to walk again or wouldn't have a life-saving surgery because of this equipment.
So Access is the Australian Centre for Complex Integrated Surgical Solutions, and its vision is to support clinicians who are managing complex clinical cases and helping them find a way to solve complex problems. And the way in which it does this is to support one of three things. First is visualisation. What that means is to be able to see very clearly what the particular problem is, which is obviously the first step in designing a way of solving it. The second is in measurement, and so that involves being able to precisely determine the dimensions of the problem or where it's located in relation to specific anatomical landmarks. And the third then is in tissue replacement. This is where we delve into a much more complex space of tissue engineering. So our brief is to support clinicians in each of those three specific areas. The Maddox's Helping Hand Foundation is something that we simply could not have done without to this time point. It has single-handedly supplied all of the tools and instrumentation that we use day to day in meeting our vision and our obligations to the clinicians looking after complex cases. So the best illustration of that is the many 3D printers that we now run. All that equipment is extremely expensive, and we're so grateful to be able to purchase that. The second part, it's one thing to have machines, it's very much another to have the right people to be able to run the machines and run them efficiently. The foundation has also been an absolute godsend in helping us employ the right people to keep the machines running and to produce very high quality medical devices. The future for Axis is extremely bright. With the ongoing support of the foundation, we've managed to realise our ambitions at a much earlier time point than we otherwise might have been without its support. We have an ambition in the future to be able to help develop the healthcare workforce of the future. So getting to schools, teaching them about engineering and biology and how the two can fit together in a new career pathway that involves being part of a medical device manufacturing workflow in a hospital environment is where we'd like to go next.
He's my hero
Why?
because he saved my hand, because it's different to everyone else and I'm unique in a different way. And I can still do lots of things other kids can do. That it helps raise money for Axis and it helps save other kids' lives.